Hi guys, Kevin here. Today we're going to make some dreamy cinnamon rolls, and we're going to mix and knead the dough entirely by hand. First up, tip a half cup of warm water into a large mixing bowl. Then add 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast. Just sprinkle that on top of the water. And then add 1/3 cup of sugar and whisk everything together. Then whisk in a half cup of warm milk and 1/3 cup of softened butter. 1/3 cup is about it's a little more than 5 tablespoons of butter. And I did leave this butter sitting out overnight, so it is thoroughly softened. I'm going to mix that in. And then add 1 large beaten egg and some salt. We need 1 teaspoon of salt. Give that a quick whisk. And then ditch the whisk and add 3 1/2 cups of all-purpose flour. Just pour it all in and then stir with a stout spoon. And you stir in one direction to help the gluten to develop. We're going to stir this until we can't stir no more. Trying to make a very stiff dough. Okay, here is our dough. Next, turn the sticky, stiff dough onto a non-floured work surface. I'm using my marble board here. If you're in the market for a marble board, well, you can find one in any kitchen supply store. They are not expensive. Okay, and then we have to knead this dough for about 5 minutes. Pick it up. I'm using my bench scraper here just to get started. Slam it down a few times. And then let's see if we can knead this. It's a nice dough. It's not too sticky. And then pat it out and then fold the dough over on itself. Push it out, fold it over on itself, push, fold, push, fold. And if it sticks, pick it up with your bench scraper. Slam it down a few times. We can be very rough here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gonna do this 10 times. 7, 8, 9, 10. Slamming it down helps the dough to lose some of its stickiness. Unfortunately, this dough doesn't need a whole heck of a lot of kneading because it's not a bread dough. It's a soft dough because the cinnamon rolls are soft. Here we go. There. Notice it's not sticking anymore. Now, if the dough, when you're kneading the dough, if it gets to the point where it resists you, in other words, you can't push it down, just let it rest cover it and then let it rest for 2 minutes and then come back and knead some more. And again, you're just going to knead this for like a total of 5 minutes. Okay, and my dough is, see that? It's starting to resist me when I try to push it out. So I'm going to cover this and let it rest for 2 minutes and then I'll come back. And while the dough is resting, I'm going to wash out and dry and grease this mixing bowl. Let me show you who's watching us bake today. Fergus! Yeah, I'm babysitting a friend's dog, Fergus. He's a Tibetan Terrier. He's Avery's, well, one of Avery's best friends. Anyway, back to work. Yeah, so my dough has rested for 2 minutes. So as you can see, it presses out very easily now. I love to knead dough by hand, but if you don't, feel free to use your stand mixer and the dough hook. And same thing, knead the dough just for 5 minutes. Here we go. Wow, this is beautiful dough to work with. This is actually called sweet roll dough. And we made the same dough when we made sweet orange rolls about a month or 2 ago. I'll post that link below or above if I remember. Sometimes I don't remember to do things that I promised to do. Uh-oh. Hey, our dough is looking very nice. It's smooth, it's elastic, and it is not in the least bit sticky. And you'll notice I didn't add any flour to this board. When you keep adding flour during the kneading process, you can end up with a very tough dough. And cinnamon rolls should never be tough. They should be soft and gooey and delicious. Let's have a look at this. Now, to see if the dough is kneaded enough, let's pull out a section. And if it doesn't tear easily, you're good to go. So form this into a ball, and then take the clean, greased mixing bowl and plop the thing down and then flip it so that both sides are greased. And then cover the bowl with plastic wrap. And let me show you the plastic wrap I buy. It's industrial. It's called food service film. It's the same kind of plastic wrap that restaurants and caterers use. And this box, see, it's 18 inches by 2,000 feet. And it cost me $13. Much more economical than buying those little things of saran wrap or whatever it's called. Anyway, this goes into a warm spot until the dough doubles in volume, and that will take about 90 minutes. So we'll be back. Oh, while the dough is proofing, we can go ahead and make the cinnamon and sugar mixture. Oh, what I have here is a ½ cup of granulated sugar. And to the sugar, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. And just grab a little whisk or fork and mix it all together. we're good. I'll see you when the dough is ready. All right, the dough is almost ready. So for this next step, butter and sugar, 2 9-inch diameter cake pans. Now to do this, rub softened butter all along the bottom and the sides of the cake pans. I'm using about a tablespoon of butter for each pan. And then dry your hand and add a tablespoon of granulated sugar. Yay! And then tap the pan just to disperse the sugar all along the bottom. You don't have to sugar the sides. All right, the dough has nicely doubled in volume. So now deflate it. And then drop it onto the work surface. Pat it out. And then we have to roll this sucker into a 15-inch long by 9-inch wide rectangle. So here we go. I'm using my French rolling pin here. Not that you could not do this with any rolling pin. Let's see how we're doing. I have my handy ruler here. A little farther here, a little farther here. Let's see. Yep, we're 9 in the middle right here, so I'm going to roll it out at the end. You don't have to be terribly exact with your measurements here. It's all going to work out. And then clutch your pearls, folks, because we're going to rub this thing with 1 stick or 113 grams of softened butter. We're going to use all of this butter. Remember, I said that good cinnamon rolls are gooey cinnamon rolls. And the butter contributes vastly to that gooiness. So don't be shy. Just apply this whole thing. And the butter is going to act as a glue for the cinnamon and sugar mixture. Yeah, these cinnamon rolls are not for the faint of heart, but boy are they delicious. Okay, wipe my hands. So I'm going to cut the camera and wash my hands. All right, now sprinkle the cinnamon sugar mixture over the rectangle. Oh, this smells really good. I love the scent of cinnamon. The aroma of cinnamon is supposed to reduce irritability. Which is why everyone who eats cinnamon rolls is very calm. Now, hold on, Fergus wants to come in. You want to come in here? Come on. Hello, sweetheart. Okay, a little more of the cinnamon sugar. There we go. And then roll up my sleeves first. Roll up the dough, starting at the long side. You want to roll this as tightly as possible. So you do a little bit at one end and then move to the middle, do the other end, and so on. Well, that will have to do. Can do this a little better. Yeah, there we go. And then pinch the seam to seal it. And then push each end in to flatten it. Make sure you're still sealed here. Now, I usually cut the rolls with my bench scraper, but today I'm going to try to cut them with dental floss. Yeah, when you cut with a bench scraper or a knife, you end up with kind of squished rolls. So let me lower the camera a little so you can see what I'm doing. So you take the dental floss, go under the roll, or rather under the dough, and you want to, well, let's see, we're going to make 1-inch rolls, and just crisscross the dental floss, and then pull. Huh. It worked. What do you know? Okay, and then keep going. Crisscross, pull. And as you work, this dental floss is sticking to my fingers. As you work, transfer the rolls to the sugared cake pan. I'll finish these off and then come back. Well, apparently I cut my rolls thicker than 1 inch because I ended up with, I should have had 15, but I ended up with 12. So I have 7 rolls in this pan and 5 in this pan. That's real life, folks. Anyway, cover each pan with plastic wrap. And then set the pans in a warm place until they double in volume. This will take about 30 minutes. See you soon. Oh, after the rolls have been rising for 15 minutes, preheat the oven to 375 degrees Fahrenheit. All right, the rolls have definitely doubled in volume. So remove the plastic wrap. I'm going to bake these in the preheated 375 degree oven just until the tops turn golden brown. That will take, 25 to 30 minutes. While the rolls are baking, I'm going to go ahead and make a glaze for them because you really want to glaze the rolls while they are hot from the oven. So what I have here is 2 cups of confectioner sugar, and I did make this sugar all by myself by simply putting granulated sugar in the Vitamix blender and blending it for about 30 seconds until it became fluffy and Well, until it turned into confectioner's sugar. So that's a little tip. In case you ever run out of confectioner's sugar, you can make it yourself. Okay, so 2 cups confectioner's sugar, and to this I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of milk. And then we'll see if we need to add a little more milk afterwards, because we want this to be pourable. And I am using low-fat milk because obviously healthy eating is very important to me. And then add a teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And this is my own homemade extract. There we go. And then whisk and see if this is pourable. It's not, so I'm going to add another tablespoon of milk. Whisk vigorously. We're getting there. I think just maybe a half tablespoon of milk will do the trick. It's very easy to add too much milk. So you always want to start with too little and then add as necessary. This is perfect right here. Ooh, check out these bad boys. They were in the oven for exactly 25 minutes. And now we're going to glaze them. I'm just drizzling the glaze on with the whisk. Beautiful, and I'm going to use all of this glaze. I'm going to let these cool for just a few minutes and then we can taste of one. All right, it's time for a taste test. Oh, how I wish you could join me. Indescribable. These are super soft, and there's just the right amount of cinnamon in here and the right amount of sweetness. Oh. You have to try these rolls. Okay, I've already eaten 2 of these rolls, so I wanted to tell you that the butter and sugar that we put in the pans turned into caramel in the oven. So the bottoms of the rolls have this wonderful caramelly crunch. Anyway, I will post the list of ingredients in the description box below, and I will also include metric measurements for my friends who live outside of the United States. Don't forget to like this video and to subscribe and to click the little bell icon so you can receive notifications. And I will see you very soon with yet another delicious recipe. Bye for now.